Hey guys, so
Hey!
we're gonna go live with this, and we think we let everything simmer a little bit as far as the coaching carousel that started in Philly. We're gonna mix it up. We're gonna go over a couple things. I definitely think we waited a little bit too long for this, but hey, let's get into this, okay?
When you step across the white stripe, the only thing that matters is that 6 inches between your backbone and your breastbone.
To the corner of the end zone. Does he get both feet down? Touchdown.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Last Second Sports Gang. Thanks for tuning in. Here we go. And so we did wait a little bit too long, I feel, on this whole entire subject as far as Doug Peterson getting fired. A lot of things are happening around the league, but we're going to try to focus this episode on Philly sports just because so much has been going on. And Saturday, we're not going to be able to touch base on this. Saturday's strictly playoffs.
Playoffs, baby.
Playoffs.
Woo!
Woo! So, Barfy, what's your feelings on Doug Peterson? Just it seemed like he was in the clean and clear. Then all of a sudden,
I love what they said. What Jeffrey Lurie said was that they're going to talk, and if they are not on the same level, he's gone. Pretty much, they wanted to see where his head was at. Personally, I think Doug got sick of the bullshit in Philadelphia, and Houston's looking pretty right now. Because they're trying to get rid of their quarterback. He can take Hurts with him to Houston and then start all over again. That's my
in
prediction.
Houston, they already have an all-pro quarterback in Watson in Houston.
Deshaun Watson's up to go. He's trying to go.
Yeah, he is trying to go, isn't he?
So that's the whole point. Watson wants out. You bring Peterson, a Super Bowl winning head coach, and there you go. You got yourself a whole new team. Which I don't think first off, one player does not make a team, so that's great. Enjoy your quarterback down there who couldn't really complete in Philadelphia either for his 3.5 games he played. And frankly, I've said this from the day Doug walked in that door. I don't like him. Great. He got us a Super Bowl, which is I will forever thank Nick Foles for suggesting to play the Philly to rub it in Tom Brady's face. But
still won't shake that man's hand. I still won't shake his hand.
I will buy that. I don't care that he's got millions and millions of dollars. I want to buy that man a beer. Corey, what's going on, brother?
Welcome back. We missed you the last episode.
I want to buy Foles a beer. That's all I want to do. Have a beer with him and just say, frankly, if anyone tried to stare, if anything, they need to put Rocky and him next to each other because that's the real life Rocky. Like, think of the bullshit he went through the first round in Philadelphia, and then he came back with vengeance. And I still remember when I saw Wentz hurt his knee, and I'm like, oh, he's done. He's done. I remember flying up the steps. I threw on my Big Dick Nick jersey. I was like, "Balls, motherfucker!" So, anywho,
you are a diehard Nick Foles fan.
You know what? And if Wentz were to go to Indianapolis, I would buy a Wentz jersey. I like Carson Wentz not as much as Big Dick Nick, but because he's getting screwed here. He is getting screwed here. Now, I do say that if Deuce Staley, if they're saying that they're gonna interview him as the head coach, I say with the Moose here, I think he can play that political game between what the fans want and what the organization wants, and still cater to the players because he was a player. He was an actual player.
I agree. I think if we are going to go in house, which I think Laurie is on with going in house. Deuce has been here since I believe Andy Reid was his last year's head coach. He was a special teams quality control guy back in 2010, worked his way up the ranks. He was with Chip Kelly. He was with Peterson. He's seen how to go about things, how not to go about things. So he could really work that political game as far as you're right about that. I think he's seen what's successful here, what's not successful here. And they have to give him a genuine shot. Now, I'm just hoping they're not interviewing him just for the fact of the Rooney Rule. I'm hoping that's not the case. I think that he definitely needs. He's been a player. He's been a coach. He's worked his way up the ranks. I think he definitely deserves a shot at a head coaching gig. A lot of the players have come out. Brandon Graham has come out and has simply stated when he goes up and he talks, it's a respect. There's a definite respect. He's not just up there jabbering. There's a respect factor involved.
Right.
They know that he's been in the trenches. He's been there. He knows what he's talking about. So it's definitely a very good valid point that you bring up that Deuce should be given a fair shake at becoming the next head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Right. And I mean, I'm sorry, Doug, you were not that good of a quarterback. I mean, I remember when you played with the Eagles and you left. And then you went to you followed Andy, you followed Graham, you followed Daddy over to KC, became a quarterback coach, and then you learned every bad habit that Andy Reid had, but you didn't correct yourself. You know,
No, I agree. You look at our Super Bowl run where the offense was more along lines predicated on a hard-nosed running offense.
right.
You had a three-headed monster. You had Corey Clement, you had LeGarrette Blount and J.J.
They should not have gotten rid of LeGarrette Blount so soon.
Yeah, I think he was still good.
Not have gotten rid of him.
Well, in the next year he goes to the Patriots and he wins another Super Bowl.
Right.
Or it was the other way around. It might have been the other way around.
He went to Detroit. He went to Detroit after Philadelphia.
Okay. So he was with the Patriots.
He went to the
Patriots let him go. Then he went to Philly. Yeah, LeGarrette Blount was a hard-nosed guy. He was something different. He was something different.
And then when they brought on, he's a character too. I remember during the parade, he walked that entire parade route. He was taking pictures with the fans. And think about it, he wasn't a name. He was here for one season, and that was it. But you know what? He jumped in with the crowd. I still have a picture. It's my brother, my sister-in-law, the bald bastard Pete, and my little nephew who did nothing but cry that entire day because it was cold. And I remember he jumps up in the picture, and I yoinked this kid up by the back of his shirt to get him in the picture. And that's awesome. So I feel that whether it's Howie or Doug who's making these decisions to get rid of good players before, they can actually show how good they are. We got rid of LeGarrette Blount. J.J. I don't even know what happened to him. He came, he ran a touchdown, and then I don't think he stopped running. I think he just went right down 95 to
Well, with J.J., they knew what they were getting. That's why he got him for a 4th or 5th round pick. He was a guy that everyone knew was not going to, when he was drafted out of Boise, I believe, he was very skilled back. He had bad knees. So everyone knew that he was not making it to his second contract. Though very good back. Exactly what it panned out. His knees couldn't hold up for the long haul, even though running backs don't have a long shelf life as it is. So he definitely did what he needed to do. He got himself a Super Bowl, so that's something that you could always say.
Right. And he was a bull, though. Again, he was a bull. You open that gap, and he just ran it, and he did a beautiful job.
Yes. So just saying, you bring Deuce in the situation, we have more of a running game. We see more Miles Sanders. We see some more Boston Scott if they bring him back, which I feel they can bring him back on the cheap. You still have scratch that. He's probably not even coming back either.
So the
Corey Clement probably not coming back.
So here's the problem with Philadelphia, though. When you speak that way, now here's the problem with Deuce. Now this is the only thing I'm saying because yes, he might want to be run heavy, but what is Philadelphia notorious for? We get a good running back and then we just beat the piss out of them. We beat them down. Look at Westbrook. They're doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing to Sproles. They just, you're good, you're fast, you can find a pocket and weasel through there, little chipmunk, go.
Well, that's what running backs are about. That's why they don't have a high shelf life, and that's why they're a dime a dozen as well. You can pick them up in the late rounds, and you can just keep churning them through the system and whatnot. As long as you have a good system, as long as you have the offensive line. That's the thing. We need to improve the offensive line on top of that. But let's get back to it. We're gonna talk coaching carousel. Who we got? We got first off, they're talking about bringing a guy like Joe Brady, offensive coordinator for the Panthers, in. Very young guy, 31 years old. Let's right off the bat, guys. Let's talk about we don't want a super young head coach coming in here. We want an established head coach. Joe Brady's an offensive coordinator for the Panthers. Let him sit and simmer over there. Let him do his thing. I have no interest in a guy like Brady.
Well, you done? Oh, I wasn't sure. Now to counter that, look at what's his face from the Chargers. What's young? He's our age. He's 35 years old.
Do I have him?
I think the Chargers. I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name.
I'm drawing a blank. No, it's Buffalo.
That's Buffalo. No. Crap. Whatever. Jared Goff. Jared Goff's coach.
Yeah. The head coach over the Rams.
Rams.
I totally get what you're saying there, and you do find those offensive gurus. Yeah, they are. They want to find that next young hot name that's going to turn the franchise around. But I don't think this is how this team is going to be going through kind of a rebuild-ish kind of thing for the next 2 or 3 years, where they got to regroup, they got to redo everything. And I don't think bringing a young guy into the situation is going to do what they think he's going to do. I don't care how of a mastermind he might be with the X's and O's. You're going to have to really scheme and game plan. You're going to have to figure out what you have and exploit your positives and your negatives and stay away from your negatives. So with a guy like Joe Brady, the Panthers offense was not lighting the world on fire. I understand McCaffrey was banged up all year, but Davis was doing a solid job all year. Bridgewater was average. So
I actually forgot that Jacksonville was a team this year.
The Honestly, Panthers. No, the Panthers, not the Jaguars.
Oh, whatever. Oh, Carolina. I forgot they have a team down there. That's right.
Yes, they have a team down there.
They have a team down there.
And then there's another name floating out there that's very new to the whole entire coaching thing. Is Jared Mayo, former Patriot linebacker. He's now linebackers coach for the Patriots. He's only been doing it for 2 or 3 years. Again, I'm not big on doing a defensive guy for the head coaching position. It rarely produces anything. It doesn't.
Well, pick it up, fatty. Needs the chest. Let's go.
But yeah, a guy like Jared Mayo, again, this is a guy that's a positional coach, though sometimes you can hire a positional coach and they do succeed. But on the defensive side of the ball, I don't like seeing that as a head coach. Usually want to hire an offensive guy because they know a little bit better both sides of the ball.
I'm not gonna lie. I want to see if they could pull someone from retirement.
Like who?
Oh man, Bill Carroll. I love that man. I want that.
I know you do.
I love him. He frightens me. He's just a scary guy. He reminds me of a skinny version of Sergeant Slaughter. And I would love to see that man coach another team. He did it with the Steelers. I want to see him do it with another team. And it would be awesome if he did it for Philly. Even Tony Dungy. I would love to see him come out of it. He's a little too old.
I wouldn't mind seeing Tony Dungy come through here. Bring his bring a cover 2, Tampa 2 defense to the whole game. And I think we might actually have the personnel to pull that off for a year or two with our defensive front. You might have that, but right now we're in cap hell. So you don't know what's going to exactly happen. Malik Jackson, he just had his contract renegotiated and everything like that. So he's more along lines out the door. They did the same thing with Alshon. They redid his contract. So it's more friendly to do the post June 1st cuts. So it's not such a dead cap hit on the back end. So Tony Dungy is an interesting thing that you bring up. Like, I don't think anyone's brought up Tony Dungy, but I think he
was a great coach. He's a soft-spoken man. If you watch him, he's a soft-spoken man. But guess what? He commanded that team. He commanded Indianapolis. At least I saw it as a joke, and I'm really glad it was a joke, because if it were true, I probably would have disowned the Eagles. Adam Gase.
I heard something floating around to bring him in on as the offensive coordinator, but that's not going to happen. I think he's not. He's not going. I think he took the job in Alabama as the offensive coordinator.
No, that was our offensive coordinator, or offensive line coach, who took the Alabama job.
Prior to that, that's he's took the he's wavering on that. He might take it, he might not. Yes, the offensive line coach position in Alabama, Sutton will be probably taking that position, because you go to Alabama, you're winning ships,
right?
So that's what it's all about, winning them ships. And he won his ship in the NFL. He's going to get his,
and then now he's going to have Alabama. A career. Now he'll have a career. He'll finish out his career, retire. He'll get that college benefits, whatever. Who else we have there? So I also heard rumored of the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs.
I didn't hear anything as far as
they said they had
Bellamy. I can't pronounce his name. I didn't hear anything as far as that. You had whispers of Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator from Dallas. They're looking for permission from Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is not going to give permission for that. They're not. It's definitely not going to happen. They might even just bring him in just to interview him. Just say, hey, let's get your ears wet for head coaching interviews and whatnot. But they're going to pick his brain what Dallas is doing. And that's exactly what they're going to be looking at. He did turn down the head coaching job over in Boise State, which was kind of like, I would feel, a match made in heaven. He was their guy. He was the golden boy of Boise State.
Right.
But then you have Arthur Smith from Tennessee, offense coordinator, who turned around Tannehill's career. Tannehill was left for dead. Tannehill was a flop in Miami. He was signed over, and he really turned Tannehill around, which is a very interesting thing. Maybe he could do the same thing for Wentz.
I got to tell you, I feel with the right QB coach and the right guidance from above, Wentz will go back to Pennsylvania soon.
I do believe so too. Quarterbacks just don't just fall off a cliff in their prime like this. They don't. I believe you have to build an offense around the guy. You're trying to force feed a spread offense to a guy that's just, if you don't have the personnel to do a spread offense. Right. On top of all that, give him a general West Coast offense that's going to run the ball 20-25 times a game.
Right.
Yes, and then let him roll off. He can roll off a play action. He can run the West Coast offense. I don't know. Doug Peterson was looking at Andy Reid going, "Oh, look at the fireworks Mahomes doing. I got Wentz. He can do that." But we don't have the personnel to do that. They don't have the offensive line. They don't have a Tyreek Hill. They don't have a Tyreek Hill.
It's not one player. That's what and you got to play to your team. You got to design your plays to your team. It's the tools that you have to build something with. If you need to build something, but you don't have the right tool, you sit there and you figure out a way to do it.
Exactly.
And that's what a lot of coaches forget to do. They say this is a great play. Okay, that play might work for a team like Baltimore, but it ain't going to work for that's the biggest downfall now with these computer crunching with these numbers guys who they follow numbers and not the player. No, fuck the analytics, because guess what? At the drop of a hat, some dude can bust their knee and they're done. And where's your analytics on that one there, Steve? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's still on talent. It's still on who you have. It's who has the heart and reliability. And no computer will ever tell you anyway. That AWS bullshit that they keep showing. There's a 0.32% chance that he would make this completion, but he did. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. I see the whole. You're making fun of me, aren't you?
This is our therapy session that's long overdue. So you keep going. I'm going to listen, and we're gonna figure this out for you, okay, buddy? We're gonna prescribe you something.
It all started when Chip Kelly wrote these great plays, but didn't use the right players. And I thought I was going crazy because he had Des Bryant, right? Was that Des Bryant? Who we have from the Cowboys that would have been a fucking star, but he didn't write the right plays. Anywho, they fired Chip Kelly, and the coach that played that one game for Philadelphia did the same play that he was designed for. Open up the line, and he ran straight. First play against the Giants with a fucking touchdown. That's what we need. That's what we really need.
So you need a heavy dose of run game in Philly.
Yes. 60, at least a 55-45. I don't care how you want to split that. 55 passing, 45 running, or 55 running, 45 passing. I don't care.
Balanced attack. All right, so I'm going to prescribe you a balanced attack with your next head coach. And yes, okay, all right. So I'm going to prescribe you that, and we're going to hope for maybe a Deuce Staley to come in as the next head coach.
I kind of hope so. Maybe he'll bring Freddie Mitchell back for some special teams. I'm just saying.
Well, that's the end of that. But okay, so going down the line. All right, so I think we might have missed out on the Arthur Smith, even though I believe he's being interviewed today by the Eagles. He's already on his second interview with the Jets. The Jets, I feel that might be a little bit more of a as weird as we bang on the Jets, that might be more of a tempting offer.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's shit. Even shit can be molded into a work of art, but at the end of the day, it's still shit. Here's a nice piece of shit.
Here's you have your, all right, we bang on the Jets, but they have the cap room, the flexibility, the draft picks, all that stuff. For a guy to come in and start tinkering, and they do have some good players in the right positions. It's all about getting the right guy in to use it. So the Jets, I believe, is a more tempting thing to see a couple guys go to, a couple coaches to take on that job. Especially, everyone likes. Can I be that? It can almost be looked at as the Cleveland Browns position, our head coaching job. What if I'm that guy that comes in and turns it all around?
Right.
You look at Stanowski over in Cleveland. He turned it around, and now people are talking. Hey, he's a solid coach. A lot of people banged on him and said he's not ready to be a head coach. He's turned it around. He's done what he has to do. He's got a lot of guys in the right position. He already had a very young roster to go. Hugh Jackson did a great job rebuilding that team. I'm going to tell you that. I think they fired Hugh Jackson. He had a vision. They didn't allow him to finish the vision. It was almost like a Ron Hextall-ish kind of.
Oh, Hextall.
It was.
He got
we'll touch on that, but it's kind of like they built him up. He tore down a roster and started building it up from the ground, and now you're seeing a good coach come in and see those guys are coming into their prime, and he's working with them.
Right.
So, all right, out of the Jets situation. We're not here to talk about the Jets. So they're also along with the Jets, whatever, with the interviews. Robert, I can't even pronounce this guy's name. Robert Saleh, the defense coordinator for the 49ers. Now, this guy's been around for a while, and he's done a really nice job up in San Fran with their defense, though I feel that it was San Fran having so many first-round draft picks on the defensive line that allowed his defense to succeed the way it is.
Oh, yeah, with enough draft. Yeah, you keep getting the first-round draft picks. You better be good after 15 years.
So, 49ers weren't bad for a long time.
I remember when your bedroom as a kid was 49ers.
Oh, that room rocked.
In the basement next to your Paula Abdul poster, you had a Steve Young poster. That's right, Paula Abdul, folks.
I had Britney Spears up on them walls too.
I do remember. That was when we were getting older, but I mean, as kids, you had Paula Abdul next to Steve Young, which I mean, do you love me?
She was scrumptious.
Hello, mother.
But
she's still scrumptious. And then she showed her movies off at the Super Bowl. Thank you, Justin Taylor.
That was Janet Jackson.
Oh yeah, that's right. Damn it.
So anyway, next guy on the list, there's a list like it's gotten almost stupid where everyone's name is thrown in the mix. And it's typical Philly. So we're just going to run down Brian Daboll. I believe he used to be the offense coordinator over with the Seahawks.
No, Daboll was in Harry Potter. He was a free elf.
Okay.
Dobby is a free elf, right, Mr. Potter?
So he did a nice job with Josh Allen this year. Josh Allen has become a complete quarterback. That would be an interesting signing there as the head coach. His name's been floated around for years for a head coaching position. So that could be an interesting wrinkle to bring him in. Maybe you could turn Wentz around. You have Todd Bowles, former defensive back coach, former interim coach when Chip Kelly was fired, I believe.
Yes.
So that's another interesting coach candidate to bring in. But like I said, I'm not big on defensive guys coming in to be head coaches. Then you have Lincoln Riley, which leave the guy in college. Just leave these guys in college. I don't want to see Lincoln Riley come here just for the fact that we're trying to extinguish a quarterback controversy. We're trying to move forward with Wentz. We bring Lincoln Riley in, and that hurts his coach from college.
Oh, God.
So you don't want to see that coming around. Then you have our good old boy, Mike Kafka, who's you're trying to pluck another guy off of the Andy Reid coaching tree, which is massive. It is massive. So
no more Andy Reid. If we're gonna get guys who worked for Andy Reid, who were coached and trained by Andy Reid, we might as well just have Andy Reid again.
Might as well.
Fair enough. So stop it. Go a whole new route. Don't get the college coach, because we saw what happened when you get a college coach that doesn't have any NFL experience. We saw how that bombed in 3 years.
Though I think Lincoln Riley's can really map out a good offense, and he just done a really good job in college. He's been a big name for, I'd say, about the last half decade.
But also, we're missing so many other coaches. Like, besides the head coach, which I understand is an important position, you're forgetting we don't have a defensive coordinator. We have an offensive coordinator now. You know,
yes.
We don't have we don't have other coaches. Those are more important. Screw the head coach. He could, that's like the president. He's just a lackey. He flat out. You could get Jim Bob Cooter to be the head coach of the Eagles, but get some
Jim Bob Cooter. That's a good name.
I know, you like that.
I like that name.
He Detroit. I think he played. I think he
is he still coaching over in Detroit?
Yeah, he's yeah. I mean, Matt Patricia. He's available. I don't know. I don't think he'd want to come to Philly regardless, but I would love to see a healthy Beard on that line.
Maybe possible defense coordinator position open. He could probably take that.
That'd be great. Another Detroit head coach coming to Philly. That'd be great.
Yeah, Marty Mornhinweg worked out so well.
Oh, Marty.
And we brought him back for a second tour.
Oh, Marty.
Marty. But anyways.
Murray.
Oh. So, all right. Well, we talked about the Eagles coaching carousel that's going on. It is just a hot mess, and we're probably not going to find out till what's going on till probably after the championship round of the playoffs, because there's a lot of guys that are good candidates in those. They're still working, so probably going to wait a couple more weeks before we actually see any real movement on that. Hey, Flyers. They started off solid. Woo! They started off on fire, and it's good. We were talking about Hextall, how he got a kind of a bad beat. He got dismissed and everything like that. But this is Hextall right here. These young guys that are just coming in and just killing it right now. Farby had a goal, 3 assists. Lindblom took one off the head for a goal. Scotty Lofton. He played a full game. He played a full game, both ends of the ice, which is great to see. AV's doing a great job as a head coach, or the head guy behind the bench. And you're going to see Nolan Patrick, after a year hiatus because of concussions, migraines, he looks solid. This Flyers team, they went far last year. I believe they're going to continue to grow and they're going to continue to develop to some powerhouse Flyers team with this youth. You can only hope that Chuck Fletcher keeps the train rolling with good drafts. That is the bloodline of this, because we're not going to sit here and give all these young guys in 2-3 years massive contracts. I know Giroux, he's on his way out in the next couple of years, maybe a year or two. He might even get traded this year. I don't know what could happen. Giroux's been a trade rumor for the last year and a half, 2 years.
I mean, yeah, he's the highest. He is the highest. No, he's the second highest paid player for the Flyers at $7,200,000.
So there's not a lot of money to be spent with the Flyers. You got to keep the depth. The depth's what's huge. When you see guys like, third or fourth line, I'm not quite sure what line he was on, Michael Raffle, he scored a goal. You see these guys that are on these lower lines that are producing, they're playing both ends of the ice, which is how AV coaches. He wants to see these guys do that kind of stuff, which is very exciting. I just watching, the game last night, the Penguins, Crosby's a fantastic player, but a guy like Malkin, he didn't look interested in playing at all. He just was like, I'm here to pay. He just wanted to collect a paycheck. He did not look like he wanted to be there. And you just saw, like, it reminds me when I used to play hockey. Guy that was really good. He could body anybody, big, tough guy and everything like that. And he gives it like a half-ass effort when he's got the puck in his hand, because he's not going to be able to take anyone one-on-one. So he just kind of like tries to do a deke and he gets robbed, and it's up the boards to the other side. That's what I'm seeing now. Malkin off the first game. And it was just, the guy has so much skill. It was depressing to watch, a guy that just doesn't want to be in Pittsburgh. It almost looks like. So,
I mean, it's either you bomb or you play so good that, you can say, hey, I want a better contract or move me. I mean, I don't think you want to tank. Like, I don't think you want to tank as a player in the NHL, because I mean, they're not making the money that other teams are.
They'll shuffle you out. They'll shuffle you out. You will get shuffled out.
Next thing you know, you're back in Bratislava. Playing on the farm leagues, using shit as a puck.
Carter Hart looks solid.
Oh yeah,
a lot of good side to side. He's always had an excellent glove. The only thing is, Carter, stay in the fucking net, dude. You're not fucking Martin Brodeur.
Do not leave the crease. Do not leave the crease.
Martin Brodeur. He gave up a goal because he tried to be Martin Brodeur. You're not Martin Brodeur, bro. Stay in the crease. Work your angles.
You loved Martin Brodeur. You loved him.
Oh, he was great.
Yeah, you loved him.
He was great. He was great. Martin Brodeur, he's a legend.
Oh, yeah.
But you're not Martin Brodeur, bro. You are not. You are a solid all-star caliber. We'll see how you're still young. You're going to keep developing. You're going to take the Flyers to new heights as long as they keep the pipe system through the Phantoms going. And it's going to be a solid team for the next 10 years. What's that?
Where are the Phantoms playing now?
Lehigh. They got to bring them back to Philly.
Yeah, that was better. I love watching Phantoms and Bears games, man.
Yeah, Hershey Bears get it.
You just hear the puck drop, and next thing as the puck's dropping, you already see 4 sets of gloves dropping. It's like, yes.
So moving on to the Sixers, because we're trying to get everything involved right now. Sixers, hot start, fast out the gate. Thank you for not trading for Harden. Thank you.
Seriously.
Thank you.
We don't need that.
That would have been disaster. They wanted somewhere along the lines of Ben Simmons and Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey looks like he's for a guy that's drafted 21st overall. Nailed it. So he looks like he's going to be a guy that's going to be here for a very long time. He's going to produce. And thank you for not trading for Harden, because that would have been an absolute disaster. You don't need an ISO player in Philly. We do not need an ISO player in Philly.
No. We're a team. We're a city of egos as it is. We don't need that ego in our city. No. Ben Simmons, not Ben Simmons.
Embiid.
Ben Simmons. He's not shooting. He literally had all the time in the world, and he just passes the ball. Like what the hell? What are you doing?
He wants to be a point guard. He's going to be a point guard. Let Maxey play the shooting guard position or whatever. You have Embiid down low, who's playing at an MVP level starting the season, which is fantastic to see.
20
We all knew that he can do it.
Right.
He's averaging over 30 minutes a game, and he's finally putting it all together. He wants to play. He looks re-energized. He wants to play.
He leads the team. Embiid leads the team 26.6 points for the team, 12.1 rebounds, and he's got 1.6 blocks. He's leading the team. It's him and Ben Simmons are the only two names that I'm seeing on the team leaders here. And Ben Simmons has 7.5 points as in assists and 1.5 steals. That's it.
Well, Simmons is he brings a whole but anyway, thank you, Sam and Steve. But no, we definitely want to keep a hold of Maxey. He's definitely going to be a producer. We have a team with Dwight Howard coming off the bench. You might even want to say that Dwight Howard eventually might bring Embiid and Howard in at the same time, with Howard playing like a power forward-ish kind of position, kind of play a little big man ball down below. You might see that a little bit, but yeah, so Sixers are starting off hot, and yeah, that's pretty much where we're going to go with this. We wanted to touch base on what we need to touch base on.
I got to tip my hat off to the Sixers though. During was it 3 games ago, because they're getting hit with the COVID. They had 7 players, 7 active players, and they lost, but they actually held the first half of the game. So I got to give as much as I don't like basketball and I don't follow it much, I got to give credit where credit is due. They held their own for at least for the first half of the game. I mean, you had no replacements, so you're going to be tired, but the fact that they held their own, they did what they had to do, man, my hat's off to the Sixers. Flyers, keep it up. I don't need high scoring games. I don't need to be 6-3 all the time. I mean, obviously, as long as there's more points than the other team, but keep the passing going. Keep the passing going. Keep that going. Keep the teamwork going. Because every time I've noticed in Flyers, when they come to playoff time, they forget how to handle the ball. I mean, the puck. They just,
Well, yeah, we don't have playoff Danny Barrere anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely. I think Sixers are going to go deep this year. Both Sixers and Flyers are going to go deep this year. This is going to hurt for the Eagles this coming year with the salary cap situation, and so there's no big expectations coming from this end as much as we want to. I don't believe there's going to be any big time signings. If you're looking at the roster, you're looking at it, and it's not young. Right. And it's not like how the Flyers are, as far as they're just going to keep pumping this youth into it, and they're going to keep succeeding because they've drafted well. They've done what they needed to. These guys are taken to the coaching, which is big. There's no big egos on the Flyers. Which is what I love about hockey. There's no egos,
just big names.
Just big names, not big egos.
Big names, like literally, like if you see some of these others, like Gauthier, and like literally it takes up the whole sweater. Yeah, like whatever have the names like Smith or Hart or Snow. No.
I love Garth Snow with his shoulder pads. God, Garth Snow was great.
I mean, even Hextall, it's a good little, 7 letters right there. No, you have to be from, Eastern Euro Russia, and you have more letters in the alphabet in your name, and
yeah, that's how it rolls out, I guess.
Yeah.
Not a lot of talent coming out of the US of A.
No, yeah, I mean,
even though they did just win
it's
junior
funny
championship or something like that. We have 2 guys in our pipeline that were on that team.
Well, I laugh when we watch the Olympics and like the USA teams playing, and it's like, who are these guys? And we win the gold medal, and we're playing against the people that we have their sweaters on, and I'm going, that's still funny. Like, why are these guys in the NHL? Who are these guys? How
kids and things of that. How it works now is the NHL doesn't allow they're professionals to go play in the Olympics anymore.
I can see that. I can see that.
For some reason of injuries and
Right.
these guys are paid a lot of money. So it's probably going to be until something changes. You won't see a lot of these brand name guys in the Olympics ever again.
Yeah, I mean that's whatever. It's just one of those things. I still think it's funny that it's we're still doing. It's so funny that no name hockey players are still from America are still kicking ass and taking names, and that's what we do because we're America, and we just shit glory.
All right, well, guys. With this being said, we're also going to do our playoff special this Saturday. We're going to have my brother-in-law, Ed, who we've talked about several times through the fantasy football season. He is our bane of the fantasy football world.
He's a Dallas fan.
Total Dallas Cowboys Yankee loving.
Oh my!
He's a Yankee lover.
No,
he's all that. He might be a Knicks lover too, man. I don't know. He's just one of those '90s guys that just can't just let go.
What does he like the Rangers also while he's at it?
He might like the fucking Rangers.
Oh
he's one of those guys that just like took a team in the '90s and said, "This is my team."
What is mom buy him a lamp and now that's why they're his favorite team? And we're gonna put him on the show. We're gonna really put this on our show.
Yes, we're gonna bring him on just for the fact of he's very knowledgeable as far as football is concerned. He did come in second place. Thank you. Second place in our fantasy football league.
Good job, Ryan.
Good job, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan Wilson, for defeating him.
Yes.
That was good to see. No one wanted to see him have bragging rights until the next draft. But so we're gonna we have that coming Saturday, and also 2 Saturdays from now, we have our Shot Collar 2.0. Barfy, do we have it queued up?
I hit the wrong button, but yeah, I was literally queuing it up so I can get this going here. So let's see. I apologize here, folks, because for some odd reason it will not load. It will not load to my computer. So.
Hang tight, guys.
Say again.
I was just telling everyone, hang tight. Give us 30 seconds.
Yeah, because the stupid computer won't work with me today. There we go. Here we go, kids. Sorry about that.
Is everybody turn the volume up? Is that Shawshank?
Yes, it was.
Nice.
Oh, of course it was Shawshank.
All right, well, gang, we got a couple things that are coming up through our own pipeline, and so tune in Saturday. I believe it's at 11:45 for our playoff special. Yeah. And 2 Saturdays from now, tune in at 2:00 for our Shot Collar 2.0.
Yes, that'll be shocking.
And I'm not too very excited about it because it was not really that fun the first time.
I'm not having a good time.
It hurt.
I get to ask the questions this time, kids.
Yes, me against the bald bastard in general knowledge.
General knowledge. This is not Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader, but this is general knowledge, things you should know. And there are some hard ones in there that will make both of you go, huh? So I've done my research. I'm getting these questions done. There will be some pop culture, little pop culture, something like easy pop culture, and
Hey, gang, if you have not seen yet our interview with Hideout director and actor Chris and Brian, check that out. It was actually a really good time.
It was
It,
fun. I can't
it
wait to
was
bring them
fun.
back on.
I can't wait till it comes out to watch. The movie looks very intriguing.
I
But
am
definitely
trying to.
check that out. It's probably a video 2 down on YouTube. It's definitely on Barfy and the Bald Bee on Facebook. Like I said, we have a merch store. I've said this a couple times. Barfy and the Bastard Brigade.threadlist.com. We are on Twitter at Barfy and the Bald Barfy and the BB. Facebook Barfy and the Bald B.
Facebook, Barfy the Bald Bee. YouTube at YouTube, Barfy and the Bass Brigade. Twitter at Barfy and the BB.
You got it.
Our merch store, Barfy and the Bass Brigade.threadless.com. And unfortunately, if you did not hear the actual ad for Shot Collar Roulette, just go to our Facebook page and you can see it again. Apparently, it didn't have no sound. It blew my eardrums out. So I don't know why it didn't come in on your end.
But yeah, so we got definitely tune in, guys. We love doing this. Hopefully, you guys love listening, and we'll catch you guys next time.
All right, guys.